You're driving to your parents' house, same street you grew up on, and you see the sign, for sale, $649,000. You know that house. Your parents paid $78,000 for something just like it. Same street, same 3 bedrooms, same nothing special, $649,000. And then it hits you, not as a news story, not as an inflation statistic, as a number that just told you that the life your parents had, you can't afford it. Not even close. And somebody got very rich while that happened. By the end of this, that sign is never going to look the same way again. Let's do the math they don't show you at the open house. $600,000 home, 20% down. That's $120,000 out of your pocket before you own a single square foot. Remaining balance, $480,000 financed. Current 30-year fixed rate in 2026, 7.5%. That's not a worst-case scenario. That's the Freddie Mac weekly average, monthly principal and interest, $3,957. But that's not your payment. That's just the beginning of your payment. Property tax, national average, 1.1% annually. Add $550 a month. Homeowners insurance, add $150 a month. HOA fees, median American condo or planned community, add $300 a month. Your real monthly cost to own that $600,000 home, $4,357 every single month for 30 years, while the water heater ages, while the roof gets older, while you pray nothing breaks because there is nothing left in the budget when it does. Now let's look at the full picture. Total paid over 30 years, $1,208,520 for a $480,000 loan. The bank collects $728,520 in interest alone. That's not a down payment. That's not a renovation. That's 1.5 houses paid directly to the bank in silence every month for 30 years. And here's the conversion that should stop you cold. On a $5,000 monthly take-home salary, that $4,257 payment consumes 87% of your income before you buy a single bag of groceries. Before you fill your gas tank, before your kid needs anything, before you exist outside of those 4 walls. That's not a mortgage. That's a financial straitjacket with a welcome mat in front of it. I'm not going to give you a character. I'm not going to tell you about Tom or Dave or anyone else. I want you to do this right now. Pull out your phone, open your banking app, look at your monthly take-home number. Got it. Now subtract $4,357. What's left? Now subtract groceries, $800, utilities, $300, car payment, $600, health insurance, $500. What's left now? That number, that final number staring back at you, is the answer to the question nobody asks before they sign the mortgage papers. That's what homeownership actually looks like on a $5,000 salary in 2026. But here's the moment nobody photographs. The realtor takes the picture. You're standing in front of the house, holding the keys, smiling. Someone opens a cheap bottle of champagne. Congratulations, you're a homeowner. What doesn't make it into that photo? The alarm going off at 5:47 a.m. tomorrow, and the day after, and every single day for the next 30 years. Not because you want to get up, because that mortgage payment lands on the first of every month, whether you're sick, whether you're tired, whether your company just announced layoffs, whether the transmission just went out on the car. The house doesn't care. The bank certainly doesn't. And here's the detail that the champagne moment is specifically designed to make you forget. Until you make that final payment, 30 years from now, you don't own that house. The bank owns that house. You are the most expensive tenant that building has ever had. Let me show you who got rich while that $78,000 house became a $649,000 house. Follow the ownership. The Federal Reserve held interest rates at near zero for over a decade. Cheap money flooded into assets. Asset prices exploded. Who had assets? Not you, not your parents, not the family trying to buy their first home. The people who already owned real estate watched their net worth double, then triple, while wages grew at 3% a year. while the price of entry moved permanently out of reach for the people who didn't already have a seat at the table. But it gets more specific than that. Blackstone, Invitation Homes, American Homes, 4. Rent. Institutional investors buying single-family homes at scale. Cash offers. No financing contingency, no inspection delays. You showed up to that open house with your pre-approval letter and your hopes. They showed up with a wire transfer. You never had a chance. And nobody told you that was happening while it was happening. Now let me tell you what a former loan officer said publicly after leaving the industry. He said the entire mortgage origination system is designed to maximize the size of your loan, not protect your financial future, not find you the best rate. Maximize the loan. Because the bank doesn't make money when you pay it off early. The bank makes money when you're stretched to the limit for as long as possible. And foreclosure rates in 2024 climbed above 2008 levels in multiple states. That's not a housing crisis. That's the system working exactly as designed. The people losing their homes are the same people who were told that buying was always better than renting. They believed it. They signed. And the house went back to the bank, which sold it again, to the next person who believed it. There's a phrase the system planted in your head. You've heard it your entire adult life. Your parents said it. Your coworkers say it. The financial advisor at the open house says it while handing you a brochure. But you're building equity. Let's destroy that phrase with arithmetic. $480,000 mortgage at 7.5%, first 5 years. Total payments, $220. How much of that reduced your actual loan balance? $33,600. The other $168,820. Interest, paid directly to the bank, gone. Your real equity after 5 years of payments on a $600,000 home, roughly $153,600, including your down payment. Meanwhile, the market could move against you. One recession, one job loss, one neighborhood that didn't appreciate the way the realtor projected, and that equity that everyone told you were building is underwater. Here is the reframe. That $120,000 down payment, invested instead of handed to a bank, generating historical market returns, produces income. Real income, monthly income. Income that doesn't require you to fix the roof or negotiate with an HOA or pray the boiler holds through February. The sheep buys status, buys the feeling of having made it, buys the right to say, I own my home at a dinner party while secretly having $190 left at the end of the month. The wolf buys cash flow. The wolf doesn't care what the neighbors think. The wolf cares about one number, how much income his money produces while he's not working. That's not a house. That's freedom. And freedom doesn't come with a 30-year payment schedule. 3 moves. Do them in order. Step 1. Calculate the real cost, not the payment. The cost. Mortgage principal and interest. Property tax. Homeowner's insurance. HOA fees. Maintenance. Budget. 1% of the home's value per year. That's $6,000 a year on a $600,000 home. $500 a month that most buyers never factor in until the HVAC dies in July. Add the opportunity cost of your down payment. What would that $120,000 produce if it were working for you instead of sitting in a bank's collateral column? That's your real number. Most people have never seen it because nobody at the closing table wants you to see it. Step 2. Apply the rule nobody taught you. Never buy a home whose total monthly cost, mortgage, tax, insurance, HOA, maintenance, exceeds 25% of your monthly take-home pay. Not gross income, take-home. On $5,000 a month, that's $1,250. If the number is higher than that, the house is not yours yet. It doesn't matter what the pre-approval letter says. The bank will approve you for rope long enough to hang yourself with. The approval is not permission. It's a product they're selling. Step 3. Invert the logic entirely. Live where it makes financial sense. Build wealth in assets that produce income. When the passive income from those assets covers your rent, You've achieved housing independence. You live wherever you want, paid for by your money working, not by you working for your money. And when you're ready to buy, you buy on your terms. Cash offer, no contingencies, no 30-year sentence. You walk into that closing as the person with the wire transfer, not the person with the pre-approval letter and the cheap champagne. You've been told your whole life that you're building equity. Now you know what that word actually means. You know who defined it. You know who it serves. You know what it costs in years of your life, in alarm clocks, in 30 years of payments to an institution that will never once lose a night of sleep over your balance. The math is not complicated. It never was. It was just never shown to you clearly. Because clarity is not profitable for the people selling the mortgage, the insurance, the HOA membership, and the dream. You've seen the math now. What you do with it is the only question that matters. Comment equity below as a signal.